My name is Leah Huggins. I'm a wife, a mother, and a proud U.S. Navy veteran. After 2 tours to Iraq, my husband was diagnosed with PTSD. My world spiraled out of control as fear, anxiety, doubt, and depression took over. I gave my life to Christ, took on a new mindset, and let go of the negativity of my past. I now help wives to find healing, encouragement, and strategy to overcome the effects of PTSD on their daily lives and in their marriage. So come on in and let's talk about it. Welcome to Marriage, Motherhood, and PTSD. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Marriage, Motherhood, and PTSD. This is the place where I empower women to take back their life as I give them the tools that are needed for self-love, for growth, and development. I'm your host, Coach Leah, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. So today, you guys, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about something that so many of us face, but we rarely say it out loud, right? We're going to be talking about losing ourselves in the role that we carry. Somewhere between being a wife, a mother, a caretaker, a supporter, maybe even a military spouse, we've put ourselves on the back burner. Not because we're weak, not because we're lazy, but because life just happens. And we keep showing up for everybody else, and somewhere along the way, we've stopped showing up for ourselves. But let me ask you this. What if today was the day that you started remembering you again? That woman with the big dreams, wild laughter, bold ideals, and purpose? That's the one who's still there, right? She's just waiting on you to come and find her again. So this episode is your reminder. It's not too late to rediscover yourself. You've been through some things. Yes, I know. I've been there. But every piece of your journey, even the hard stuff, has made you stronger. It's made you wiser and more resilient. And today we're going to start talking about how to reignite those dreams, how to reclaim your confidence, and how to start walking boldly in your identity again. So grab your journals, grab your tea, right? Or coffee, whatever it is, and let's get into it, okay? Let's talk about it. So, how do we lose ourselves in the first place? All right, let's talk about how this happens because it doesn't just happen overnight. Most times, losing yourself doesn't happen out loud, right? It's quiet, it's subtle. It looks like you saying things like, I'll go back to school after the kids get older, or let me put this dream on hold until he gets back from deployment. Or how about this? I don't have time for that right now. I just got too much on my plate, right? Story of my life. Okay. And slowly, piece by piece, we start tucking parts of ourselves away, right? We tuck away our passions in order to make room for the needs of our families. We silence our dreams because we've been told that they're not practical. We put our self-care on the back burner because everyone else needs us more. We take on roles, right? We're wife, we're mother, we're the spouse, we're the caregiver, we're the peacekeeper. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, we stop asking, what do I want? It's even worse if you're a military spouse, right? Because in the military, the mission always comes first, right? It's the first priority. So the schedule, the moves, the separation, everything, it's all about their career, their growth, their orders. And you have to adapt. You have to support. You got to hold it down. And while all of that is honorable and powerful, it is also exhausting. And it's easy to wake up one day and realize that you've lost your voice. But let me tell you something. Your identity is not lost. It's just buried under layers of survival and sacrifice and support. And today, we're going to start peeling those layers back because the woman that you were created to be, guess what? She's still in there, okay? Now, sometimes you don't even realize how far you've drifted from your true self until you start feeling the effects. So what does that look like? All right, well, first, you feel like something is missing, but you can't quite name it, right? There's an ache that you can't explain. You have a life full of responsibilities, maybe even blessings, right? But still, you feel disconnected, like you're living someone else's story. You don't recognize yourself in the mirror, physically or emotionally. You gain weight. You might have lost confidence. You stop doing your hair, okay? You stop smiling for real. You wonder what happened to the vibrant, passionate woman that you used to be. You might have stopped dreaming. You used to have goals, right? You had ideas and passions, but now survival mode, that has become your default. The dreams got pushed to the background, and you're not even sure if you believe in them anymore. You feel resentment rising up. You love your people, but sometimes you feel overlooked, you feel underappreciated, or even invisible. And you can find yourself frustrated that everybody else gets to pursue what they love, but not you. So you may struggle to answer the question, what do you enjoy? If somebody asks you what makes you happy outside of your kids or your spouse or your job, would you know what to say? If not, that may be a clear signal that it's time to reconnect with yourself, right? And here's another thing. You may crave more, but then you feel guilty for wanting it, right? You want more fulfillment, more purpose, more you, but then that comes with guilt. I should be grateful, right? But guess what? You can be grateful for your life and still crave more out of it. Both can be true at the same time. So now that you've recognized the signs, the question is, where do I begin? How do you find yourself again when you've been lost in everything that life is demanding from you? The answer is one intentional step at a time. All right. So the first thing you can do is start with stillness, right? In the Bible, it talks about how Jesus would take time to get away from everybody, right? All his disciples, all his followers. He would go somewhere and be alone with his thoughts and with God, right? It's important to take time to sit in the silence. You got to clear your mind. It gets noisy out there, right? And you can't find yourself in the noise. You have to take intentional time to be still, whether that's sitting with your journal, taking a walk by yourself, or maybe spending some quiet time with God. The stillness gives your soul room to speak. All right? The word says, be still and know that I am God. All right? The next thing you want to do is reflect on who you were before the world told you who to be. Okay, that's good. Sometimes I got to say amen to myself. That's good. All right? Who were you before the world told you who you were supposed to be? What brought you joy before you became a wife or a mother, right? Or a fixer of all things, okay? Think back to your childhood dreams, those goals you had when you were a teenager, right? What was that passion that you set aside? Start writing it down. Let yourself remember, all right? Number 3, clarify what you want right now in this moment. You're not the same woman that you were back then, right? And that's okay. You've grown. So what do you want now? Not what should you want? What does your soul crave? All right, be honest with yourself. Let me ask you this. If you had no fear and unlimited support, what would you do with your life? Think about that. All right. Number 4, you got to make space for you again. Okay. This might mean saying no to some things, right? Even the good things. So, in order to say yes to the things that feed your soul, okay? Block off time on your schedule, right? On your calendar for your own growth. Read that book, okay? Go to that workshop, pick up that paintbrush, take the class, whatever it is, grow. Use it to grow, okay? Also, here's a big thing. Speak life over yourself daily, right? Your journey of discovery, it starts in your mind, okay? If you keep saying that you're stuck or you're broken or you're too old or too tired, you're going to start believing it. So start making some daily affirmations. Tell yourself, I am worthy of my own time and attention, right? It's okay to have some me time, all right? Number 6, you want to take one brave step, okay? Again, sign up for that class. Launch that side hustle, right? Schedule your therapy session, okay? Join that group. Do whatever it is. Don't wait until you feel confident, okay? Confident comes after you've been obedient, not before. All right? So, you guys, this was a short show. That's hard to say. This was a short show, okay? It only took a minute. I just wanted to get to the point, right? But it's time for my favorite part of the show. And what is that? It's the coaching moment. All right. So let's go on and take that first step back to you, okay? So here are your action steps that I want you to take this week. All right. So I want you to create a remember me list, okay? All right, so you're going to grab a journal, your notebook, your phone, whatever it is that you use to write on. And then I want you to set aside about 15 to 20 minutes of quiet time, okay? And you're going to answer these 5 simple prompts, all right? Answer honestly, all right? Use your heart. It's a fly in here. Use your heart, okay? So the first prompt, I used to love. And then I want you to name 3 things that made you feel alive, right? Or 3 things that made you feel joy before life got in the way, all right? I used to love, and then name your 3 things. Number 2, I feel most like myself when, all right? Think about the moments where you felt confident or creative or free, all right? When did you feel most like yourself? All right. Number 3, one thing about me I miss is what? Be real. Okay. What part of yourself do you wish most would come back? All right. Number 4, I've always wanted to. Okay. Even if it seems out of reach, I want you to write it down anyway. And the last one small thing I can do this week for me is. And then I want you to write that out. This could be just taking a walk by yourself, right? Maybe signing up for something like a class, all right? Maybe calling an old friend, all right? How about trying something new? Something just for you. All right. Now, here is the challenge. Okay. You're going to do that one small thing this week. And then I want you to do something else. I want you to text a friend for accountability. All right. You're going to tell them about what you're doing. And then hopefully they'll be willing to keep you accountable. Okay. Share it also in your journal. Write it down. I want you to celebrate each step. You don't have to overhaul your life, okay? But you do need to start choosing yourself again. Do it one step at a time, one day at a time. Because rediscovery is going to start with one simple decision, right? I am worth coming back to. You guys, I hope this episode spoke to you. I want you to know that you are still in there, okay? Beneath those roles, the routines, the responsibilities, the real you is still alive and waiting to be rediscovered, okay? You haven't missed your moment. You haven't lost your purpose. You're just in a new season. And that means it's time to evolve, all right? So today, I want to challenge you to start showing up for yourself again. Dust off that dream. Rekindle your passion. Speak life over your future. You are more than just a title. You are a purpose in motion. All right? And listen, if nobody else tells you this today, I am proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for choosing to grow, right? For choosing to heal, for choosing yourself. Okay? If this episode blessed you, I want you to share it with a friend, post it on your socials, and don't forget to tag me, okay? At Coach Leah. All right? I want to cheer you on as you guys rise up and you walk boldly in who you were created to be. All right? You guys, that's it. That's my time for today, okay? Be sure to join us next week for another powerful episode, okay? Until then, as always, I want you to be encouraged, be empowered, and be blessed. Peace, y'all.